Warning: the following story contains details that some may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. On May 16, 2006, 32-year-old Rey Rivera vanished without a trace. A week later, his decomposing body was found inside Baltimore's Belvedere hotel. Authorities claim he jumped from the top of the 14-story building, crashing through a lower roof. But what could push a stable, sociable, newly married man to such an act? Did Rey Rivera truly take his own life? His family and loved ones think otherwise, and they're not alone. Nearly 2 decades later, doubts and questions still linger. This is the unsettling story behind Rey Rivera's death. Rey Rivera was a writer and videographer from Baltimore, Maryland, leading a comfortable life with his longtime partner and newlywed wife, Allison. The couple had moved from Los Angeles to Baltimore a little over 2 years prior. Rey worked as the financial newsletter editor for The Rebound Report, a publication created by his friend Porter Stansberry and managed by Agora, a publishing conglomerate based in Mount Vernon. In addition to his writing role, Rey was an assistant coach for the men's water polo team at Johns Hopkins University. In the days leading up to his death, Rey had expressed dissatisfaction with his job, particularly because the stocks he reported on often didn't perform as expected. On May 16, 2006, Rey was last seen leaving his home in Northwood. The last person to see him alive was Claudia, a colleague of Allison's who was staying with them. At the time, Allison was on a business trip in Richmond, Virginia. Claudia recalled that Rey seemed preoccupied, and around 4 p.m., after taking a phone call, he rushed out the back door. He left in his wife's car, but returned briefly, then left again, leaving his office lights and computer on. When Allison couldn't reach Rey by phone, she called Claudia at 10 p.m. that evening. Claudia hadn't seen him since he left earlier. Initially, Allison thought Rey might be out drinking, but by the next day, her concern grew, and she reported him missing at 3 p.m. on May 17th. On May 23rd, Allison's car was found in a Mount Vernon parking lot. The following day, Rey's body was discovered. Rey's body, found in an abandoned meeting room at the Belvedere Hotel, was badly decomposed, indicating he had been dead for some time. A hole in the room's roof suggested he had jumped from the top floor. The Belvedere Hotel, built in the early 1900s, has a grim history of incidents, including suicides. It has since been largely converted into condos. Authorities were convinced Rey had jumped from the hotel's top floor. However, the coroner's autopsy listed the cause of death as undetermined, while his family suspected foul play. Rey had no history of mental illness or sudden trauma, and he had booked office space for a weekend during his disappearance to complete a project, indicating no intention of suicide. Investigators faced issues retrieving video footage from the building due to technical problems. For some reason, the Belvedere's rooftop cameras were disconnected or malfunctioning on May 16th, though they had been working the day before and the day after. A puzzling note found on Rey's computer, addressed to brothers and sisters and referring to a well-played game, named both famous figures and personal acquaintances who had died. The note also included a request to make them and himself 5 years younger. After examining the note, the FBI determined it was not a suicide note. The note also hinted at Rey's interest in Freemasonry, using phrases common in Masonic rituals. A local lodge confirmed Rey inquired about membership the day he disappeared, but their conversation appeared unremarkable. Rey had also been reading books on Freemasonry, such as The Builders. Adding to the confusion, Allison reported that Rey had been increasingly paranoid before his disappearance, showing anxiety over their home alarm going off and distress after an encounter with an unknown man at the park. An engineering study revealed that Rey would have had to run at least 11 miles per hour to reach the spot where his body was found, making it improbable he was pushed or accidentally fell. One of the most unsettling details is that Rey's sandals and phone were found intact on the lower roof, despite the severe impact from his fall. Some conspiracy theorists have pointed to Rey's friend Porter Stansberry's strange behavior during the investigation. Stansberry's reluctance to cooperate with authorities and the media could have been an attempt to protect his business's reputation, but if he was hiding something, it remains unknown. No one was able to determine who called Rey, leading him to run out of the house and setting off the chain of events that eventually resulted in his demise. These and other mysterious circumstances surrounding the incident have led to numerous theories, more questions than answers. Despite all the strange details and inconsistencies surrounding Rey's death, investigators concluded and ruled the incident as a probable suicide. What do you think about this case? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please support the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated.